Oh, it's your girl Spicy K.
It's your girl TK. Y'all doing?
Riding down 65, thinking what's on my mind. Oh, it's Tuesday. It's podcast time. It's podcast time. It's podcast time.
Insubordinate and churlish.
Spicy K in the building. TK in the building. We're the ops. We telling all. We're the big podcast and not small. We live on Tuesday. Replay is Wednesday's opposite. It's what we're called with the ops. We telling it all. We telling it all. We telling it all. We telling it all. All sides. Woohoo! Yes, that is episode. No, we're on episode number 73. We are earlier today because some people said that they wanted to be able to watch the debates tonight. So therefore, that's why we're earlier than normal. So if you want to watch the debate, go watch the debates after our show, though.
We will.
After our show. So for episode 73, TK, who are you telling on this week?
Man, I believe I've said something similar to this before, but I'm sick and tired of these children at these fast food restaurants working. Okay? I'm sick of y'all. I don't know what it got into y'all that y'all can't work without AirPods, without your phone in hand. I have seen people putting fries in a box with their phone in their hand. What if your phone fell in the fry thing? Okay? But what has me just upended today is when you ask me as a worker, as an employee of the restaurant that I went to the drive-through of, if you ask me, do I want a particular sauce? And I say yes, I am damn sure expecting that sauce to be in that bag, okay? And I'm usually not going to check it because I'm not that one. Because I have worked in the fast food industry. So I get it. So I don't use a check. I just, assume if you ask me if I want something, you're going to put it in the bag and not forget. I mean, that's just, when you assume, you know what happens, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, I'm telling on the children that work in these fast food restaurants again. We're not talking about the phones this time, even though I mentioned it. We're talking about follow through, I guess you would call it, because seriously, I'm usually going to tell you at the second window that I want some sauce. But you asked me at the first window. And yes, it was the same person. That was the question you all were going to ask me. Was it the same person? Yes, in fact, it was. Everybody's short staffed right now. Bless their heart. And probably going through it. Follow through, young people. Have pride in your work. Put your damn phone down.
So for episode 73, who I am telling on the lovely lady that that served my curbside order. So when I go to this particular restaurant, I normally pay with the PayPal, online pay with PayPal because it's safe, secure, so they don't have my banking information. So I go to the rest. I also use gift cards this time, but I've used gift cards before. So I go to pick up my items. She comes out and she was like, "Well, it didn't take the full payment. What are you talking about? Like, the gift cards went through. My PayPal is going to pick up anything else." And she was like, "No, it says that this is due." Okay, lady, let me give you this money because I was going to give her cash, but I was like, "No, I need a paper trail." So I gave her the card. And I was like, before that, I told her, I was like, you need to show me something that says that I owe this amount because according to my, email, I pay for everything. And then she was like, no, you owe such and such. And I was like, well, do you have something showing that I owe that amount? And she was like, "Oh, okay, I'll go in here and get it." So she goes and get it and shows me. So I get hand her my card, and because I was like, I need a paper trail. I'm not gonna give her cash because I need a paper trail.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to her. She comes back out with my card and nothing else. I said, "Ma'am, are you not gonna give me a receipt?" Like the audacity of
Ooh.
all of this.
Well, did you owe the money?
Um, I don't think I did. I went ahead and paid it. It didn't show up as two transactions, so my PayPal never, even though my PayPal was pending,
Mm-hmm.
it. So I don't know because this was like Saturday or Sunday, so
So maybe their machine messed up or something.
I'm not really sure. I'm just waiting for, yeah, I'm just basically waiting for to make sure. So waiting for another day to make
Why?
sure
Because you're
that the
gonna dispute
transaction.
it.
No, if it's only one charge, then I'm fine because it should only be one charge. But if it's two charges, that's a problem, and she shouldn't have done that. So that's who I am telling on for episode 73. So the first story we have, of course, we always have a story that says it's cool when they do it, a problem when we do it. It's a story typically about race and something controversial. So if you don't remember, a couple months ago, we talked about the fact that the Supreme Court basically removed affirmative action. And it was because of an Asian American
Mm-hmm.
basically stating a claim along with, I can't think of the coalition or whatever council it was off the top of my head right now, but
The KKK.
it was not that. So what ended up happening, the first graduating class, the class of 2028, for Yale and Princeton both saw a drop in the Asian American students after the Supreme Court affirmative action ruling. I think that's very interesting. What's also interesting about this whole situation is that um, the black students pretty much remain steady. The
At
white students increased.
0.5.
The Hispanic and Latinos also increases. Well, they increased at Yale. They fell slightly at Princeton. But TK, tell me your thoughts about all of this and everything that happened, and you know why there's a change now, especially at these two particular schools.
So what you're telling me is the not Harvards of the Ivy League had an uproar in the one community there, and now their demographic has dropped off.
Yes.
Well, I don't think that that demographic, I don't think that they thought that they were part of the people that were being accepted due to that particular program. Um,
You talking about the Asian Americans?
mhm.
Oh, okay.
Simply because affirmative action is there for minorities.
Then they are the minority.
That are they not?
They are a
I don't
minority.
think that they think they are.
Ah.
But I don't, girl. I don't think that they think they are. So instead of it opening the door for more Asian persons, it actually did exactly what it was supposed to do and remove opportunities for persons of color. And that's okay because they're not Harvard's. Um, but it's hilarious to me to think that I almost wore my Alabama shirt. Isn't that funny? But yeah, they oh time. Anyway, but yeah, so that's really strange to me. And I wonder if they understand now that they are in fact part of that particular persuasion. I mean, or let's say the part of the group that was being helped by affirmative action.
I would think that they are very aware that one, they are minority, and
Mm.
one that happened. Now, as I was reading this particular article, I did see that apparently at MIT and also Amherst, the Asian American students actually increased, while it was a decline in Black and Latinos. But um, like I said, but for Yale and Princeton, I think it's very interesting that the Black enrollment stays steady.
Mhm.
I think there are some other places that the black enrollment may have went down. Black African American slash African Black slash African American population went down at some schools, but I think that for Yale and Princeton to be, some of the cream of the crop, and the fact that the enrollment um, went down for the Asian Americans, I think that's very interesting. I haven't seen anything as it relates to Harvard, because Harvard and the University of Michigan, I believe, were the two that were part of the lawsuit. Well, part of the case that got to the
University of
Supreme Court.
Chicago.
No, I think it was Michigan, University of Michigan,
Mm.
um, and Harvard. I believe those were the two original schools that started with the whole Supreme Court. Um, but I find that very interesting.
Well, I think it's funny. I don't think it's interesting. I think it's hilarious because, again, the white people are okay with that because that's what, affirmative action took away them, you know, bombarding everything. So, of course, their enrollment will go up because, of course, as what we have to do when they get upset is we have to include them in every single thing, uh, because, of course, they've been left behind, left out of so much. So it's just hilarious to me that an Asian American or Asian person, I don't know if they were an Asian American or not, made a fuss about that. But those are the things that happen when you take away a program designed to make it advantageous for all, because there are already people that are going to be advantageous, and make it even playing field. So that's what happens. So I think that's hilarious. So way to go.
Well, as she was talking, I was pulling up this information because I wanted to know what it was for Harvard. Because like I said, Harvard was one of the ones, and it actually is showing that for Harvard in particular, that the Asian, where did it go? Oh my goodness, I just saw it.
Mm,
I think it increased. I think it was like from 33 to 39% that it increased for this incoming freshman class at Harvard. So that's definitely interesting as well. That
so why they single out Princeton and
because Princeton and Yale were the ones that I saw the findings for. That's what I initially saw on social media about, and that's what I end up pulling up.
because there's
Um,
something significant to it. So we need to. I wonder across the board, like in college enrollment in general.
um, I don't know what it is in general. I don't know if everybody has most of the ones like Yale, Princeton, Harvard, I think Duke, MIT, they've all posted their information, but I don't know if everybody else has posted their information.
Hmm.
And the thing about it is also what's really weird and interesting is the fact that most of the um most of the findings are actually found on the actual university's website. So, like when I pull up the Harvard information, it's from the Harvard magazine. So it's not like it's on. Normally, where I get my news sources from is uh, NBC. I go NBC News for most of my articles, just because I feel like,
Interesting.
you know,
Now, that's interesting.
I get most of them from them. I don't take it from. I don't try to. I try to get it from the most unbiased that I feel like may be the most unbiased,
Why you just hollered at me just now? That was loud.
whatever.
What?
So you have to literally go to Harvard to end up pulling up this information.
Harvard is the bomb.com. But I don't know. Like I don't think people have a problem with students that are of the Caucasian persuasion, like say they go to A&M or TSU, they get minority scholarships.
Like white people?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So what was
Oh, you said T. I thought you were saying MTSU. I was like, I don't know about MTSU, but
No.
TSU. Okay, yeah.
We definitely know MTSU ain't like that. But so what is the problem?
What do you mean?
So okay, so if if you look at this here, who are the people that you would think should would deserve? And I really want to answer this question. That would deserve a free education. A
It's not
minority
free.
person. No, listen. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Uh-huh. In today's society,
Okay.
what demographic do you think would deserve an opportunity to go to school for complete free?
Anyone that wants to go and doesn't have the means to be able to pay for it.
All right. So then,
So it doesn't matter. Like basically, I'm saying like if you are, um, I would say probably middle class to lower class may not be able to afford a college education for their children, and the cost, depending on definitely depending on the school, might be enormous. I don't think if you're in the like upper high class,
echelon.
I don't think you should, I think you should be footing the bill for that unless there's some kind of scholarship because of academic reasons or either because of sports. As long as we're not getting into the whole what happened with the people faking the sports, we don't want to do that.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm that dude is still a hero, and I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna watch. I got Max now. But what I'm saying is, okay, so you're telling
because not everybody, keep in mind, not everybody wants to go to college. Because also keep in mind, like if you're not familiar, the state of Tennessee will inside the state of Tennessee, you have the ability because of the lottery to be able to actually go to college at no cost, or basically long as you do like community
school.
long as you do like community service, and you also do, I think it's a Hope Scholarship, but I'm not 100% positive, so I don't really want to say that, but I think that's the name of it. But you're able to go to college at a state school for basically free. But again, not everybody wants to go to college, so that's what I'm saying for the people that actually do want to go to college.
But what I'm getting at is, so you have a fit with people of a minority race that want an opportunity, and most of them aren't even getting a free ride. You see what I'm saying?
They're talking about force the issue that happened with the Supreme Court, affirmative action. Is that what you're talking about? Okay,
no, that's what I'm saying. So they have issue with people getting a fair shot, and like I said, most of them ain't. Like I don't even think if you told your financial aid officer that you was wanting to go to an Ivy League university, that they would be like, well, you might need to shoot for lower. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nobody that's getting accepted into Harvard. They're not there on a free ride. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, because a lot of times they don't have a lot of times they do have scholarships. They have other means for people to be able to go to these institutions.
Right. Okay. But they're not on financial aid. They're not getting paid for most often time by the state or the federal government. Actually,
they are they consider scholarships financial aid.
Well, I don't consider scholarships.
No, I'm saying like schools do though.
People are getting millions and millions of dollars with scholarships. That ain't no damn financial aid. That's money. We come with money.
But I'm saying, but they consider that part of financial aid.
Okay. Well, okay. So, but what I'm saying is they take issue with that, but the Caucasians that go to HBCUs and get a free ride on financial aid, which is what this pays for that, because there's no scholarships most oftentimes for that unless they were like, they got a couple Mexican guys or white guys that play on the baseball team. I know they in my school we had a basketball, we had no football. Well, we did have football, that's a lot. But anyway, but on certain HBCU teams, they have Caucasian quarterbacks sometimes, and they get scholarships.
Correct.
So that's a free ride.
That's the athletic scholarship too.
Okay,
part of athletic scholarship.
Okay, but then what I'm saying is that they take an issue with stuff like people getting an opportunity to go to an Ivy League school that's not even asking for that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing about it is that I truly believe that most people, including Black people, do not realize and know that white people or non-Black people could go to the HBCU and actually get a minority scholarship. A lot of people didn't know. I didn't know that until I graduated from college,
Mm.
and I actually end up, I think, meeting someone, and they were talking about what school they went to, and I was talking about, what school I, graduated from, and it was mentioned then. Other than that, I had no clue that they were able to get a minority scholarship, which they are a minority, so that makes sense. But
Minority where? Other
they
than the school.
they're a minority based on the school. It's based on the school. If it's a HBCU and the person, like I said, is non-Black, then they are a minority. So it happens.
If they are, you right. I'm just saying.
But like I said, there's a lot of people, because a lot of people I know in comments are like, um, someone, white people can't just go to a Black college and get a minority scholarship, and plenty of people have to tell them yes they can. Like, this is real literally something that happens. But I think a lot of people, sad to say, are very, whether or not you're Black, white, or whatever, I think a lot of people didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know my own self. Like, it was complete ignorance on my part, because I didn't know until I had the conversation with someone that was white, that was attending an HBCU. Other than that, I wouldn't have known, because that wasn't. I know I
Wait.
wasn't a minority to look for a minority scholarship at a HBCU, so I didn't even think about looking at it.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, but a lot of people don't think that.
But then when we go to a PWI
Mhm.
and be like, hey, can I get in on the Black scholarship? They're gonna be like, do it.
Well, I didn't have a Black scholarship. I had a.
Right. So
I didn't even.
there wasn't even a thought, was it? Okay. I'm just saying this. Some kind of stuff is a little bit backwards. I don't think the financial aid program was designed for us initially anyway, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Any other thoughts about that?
No.
Okay.
Excluding people.
So the next topic, of course, you have probably seen this everywhere, where Colt Gray went into, and I will butcher the name of this school. Um,
Apalachee.
is it Apalachee?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's Apalachee. High school last week, and basically,
is it what?
as a result of that, uh, 4 people, 2 students and 2 faculty/staff were killed in this. They have arrested him. They have arrested his father. But the shocking part about all of this is that he literally, like, they came out. One of the things I think is wrong is the fact that they came out last year in May 2023 to his residence, where he and his
when
father
he was 13
resided. And the father specifically was like, no, he doesn't have access to the guns. They weren't.
He said he had access to them, but they not loaded, and he's not unsupervised around them.
Okay, something along that lines. Yeah. So, and the fact that he would come back over a year later and do it and actually shoot
with a gun that they didn't have. He didn't even have at the time of questioning, because you know what? They got evicted, and some of those guns were seized. So he went and bought. How you get evicted and being able to buy assault weapons? Because them things ain't cheap. And I'm telling you, we ain't talking like $500, $700. We talking like $2,000 and above. Okay, per. Okay, so he got him that gun for Christmas last year, while we were celebrating the birth of baby Jesus. May he rest in peace, and may he still be alive.
I was like, okay.
But we were celebrating that, and he gave him an assault weapon, and they keep saying it's an AR, and they're saying like it's a PLK or something like that. I don't know what that means, but it sounds dangerous as hell. And a 13 going on 14-year-old boy does not need that.
Well, he's 14 and yeah,
Yeah,
14.
well, I'm talking about at the time he got it.
Okay.
He was 13 still. Okay, so
And he knew he was trouble. Like if the FBI shows up to your
yeah.
house about your child, thinking that your child is gonna, have a school shooting,
Hmm.
come on. And so he is rightfully being charged as well.
Yeah,
He's
he's
being charged with
negligence.
involuntarily manslaughter, 2 counts of second degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children.
And this is the first time that these particular charges have been filed. Now, parents in the issue with the kid in Oxford shot them people. They had charges, but I think it was more. It was different. They weren't these. This man finna go. He finna get 25 with an L, just like this little boy. He ain't. He's not eligible for the death penalty because he's a minor. Okay. So that's the only reason why he's not going, because he's being charged as an adult, whether he want to be minor or whatever. He is being charged as an adult. Can't even serve his right now. Can't even be detained with the adults though, because he's a minor. They'll kill him in the adult jail. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing also, so the mother called the school because she
Yeah,
received a text message.
from
So she
him.
called the school and they got she talked to the counselor and they got another student confused. And
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you what people are saying, and that let me tell you what bothers me about this.
Hmm.
So people are like, oh my goodness, they should have, once they figured this out, they should have did a lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, no, they shouldn't have, because the lockdown is only going to be available if someone was outside of the school trying to come into the school to do a shooting. If
Locking them
you are
in.
locking in someone, that means that there was a potential that whoever was in his classroom at the time, if they had a lockdown,
That'd
more
been
lives
worse.
would have actually been
Mm-hmm.
more lives would have actually been destroyed
That is
at
true.
that point. So I'm like, why are people like, are people not thinking? Like, you have to think about these things. A lockdown will only be helpful if you are not in the school already.
I was
Once you're
thinking
in the school,
evacuation.
because imagine you're in a classroom, it's like 19, 20. I don't know how many people they allow to be in the classroom. So I'm not a teacher. I don't know any better.
He gonna be like,
Um,
they locking it down because of me. Oh, y'all in here. It's over. It's over. Yeah.
exactly. And I'm like, and very, sorry that the 4 people that lost their lives and the people that are going to be feeling the effects of this,
Mm-hmm. For a long time.
mentally and all this stuff, maybe even physically, um, to them. But if they did a lockdown, it would have been worse. I'm sorry, it would have been worse because you would have had all those people compacted in a same classroom, and literally they would have all possibly lost their life. I know people are like, well, somebody could have tried to. No, no, because one 14-year olds, they're not thinking like this. And I didn't realize that apparently this was because people spoke to the point and said that he had been bullied. I also want to point this out. Stop bullying people.
That's never gonna stop.
Stop it.
Y'all need to make stronger children. I'm sorry.
No, it's not even about that.
Yeah, it
Like, no,
is.
like the bullying is way different from any bullying that you would have experienced, or if somebody
The
your
only
age or whatever
difference.
would have experienced, because
The
now
only
it's more
difference
it's
is the internet.
of
That's
course,
it.
but that's big.
It is big, but I'm telling you.
Imagine the worst moment, or somebody completely dissing you, or saying something about you that was contained to your school now being
But
blasted for the whole wide
everywhere,
world.
yeah.
That's a different level. So no, I'm
But
not.
I
No.
don't give a damn what you do. There is no justification for what you have done to somebody for them to do shit like this. Because neither one
I'm
of
not
those
saying it's
kids,
justification. I'm just
neither one of
saying.
those kids, and neither one of those teachers did anything to that boy. Whoever he was mad at, he did not. He did not target and get.
Well, I don't know if this is true, but apparently this was a new school that he was at. So,
Yeah,
but I'm still saying to the same fact that, like, people really shouldn't be bullying, because there's adult bullies too. People shouldn't be bullying in the first place. But to me, I feel like everything that was meant to prevent this failed through. because apparently there are stories about allegedly that CPS had been called to the house numerous times. They never took away the children. They never did anything. So that's a problem.
Mhm.
The fact that they called to the school and everybody was like, if my child would have did this, I would have ran to the school. Apparently, the lady doesn't even live in the same state or
No,
in the same area, so
that
that's
was
not going to
interesting
work
too,
either.
because if this woman is a mother, mothers don't give up on their sons. This woman apparently did not have custody of this little boy. I don't. There's no way he was all under the tutelage um of his father, who seemed like he ain't all there anyway. Also, because I saw him in court, and it was just pitiful. But he talking about, I don't know. I don't think he said it. Uh, I'd be pissed if he said something like that. Oh my God. He said, I've been trying to teach him hunting so he can, he gets bullied at school. So like he wasn't even a like the classic bully looking kid. Like, the ones that get picked on like that. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot of kids that get picked on. I don't think it's a look
It's
because
definitely
just
a look.
depend. I think it depends on like what kind of school, because you think about like a lot of times people think like the band people get picked on because like the band geeks da 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 da. But again, I went to all black pretty much high school, and the band was the place to be, baby. Like you weren't gonna get picked on because you was in the band at my school. Like
I
the
think that's
band was
what
the
y'all all
hero,
thought, huh?
huh?
That's what y'all all thought, didn't it?
No, it's the truth.
I don't
I'm
think.
just saying, like, that's why I said I think it depends on what school, because there are some activities that people normally think you might get bullied for, but just depends on the school, it's gonna be totally different. Our school, the band was it. Like everybody wanted to be in the band. Even now, well, they don't really have no alumni things anymore because we ain't got no school no more. But when they have alumni, people that were I positive were never in the band showed up to be in the band because again, the band was the thing to be. On the top, baby, you can tell us anything. We was baby A&M. Leave us alone.
Yeah, you was behind me. Then maybe that era changed after that. I doubt that. But yeah, he was, because the people that you see, okay, the people that he idolized, like Dylan Klebold and those guys from Columbine, he didn't look like them. He didn't look like the trench coat mafia. He looked like a surfer dude from Long Beach.
But I don't know if he looks. I don't know if there's a look. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. For me, I don't know if it's necessarily a look.
I guarantee you that the media is going to say something about, even though he was young, he doesn't look like the other school shooters. He doesn't look, he doesn't look like, he was very succinct when he appeared in court because I listened to it on CNN. He was,
The,
he under,
you talk the shooter.
yeah,
Okay.
the boy,
Okay.
the 14-year-old murderer,
Alleged.
alleged
Yeah.
murderer, let's say, because everybody, I mean, he done, okay, but yeah, he did it, and so he's gonna tell a story. Like, he didn't have much of a manifesto, but they pulled stuff offline that he's written and stuff, and he ain't no dumb dummy. Like, his daddy looked like Sling Blade Jr.
Clean blade. Okay.
But hey, that's okay. Time for the podcast. Um, but yeah, I think it's sad, and I feel like, now this is it. I feel like I'm desensitized, and I'm one of the most sensitive some bitches out there. So if I'm desensitized to this stuff like this, I can't imagine other people, because yeah, I heard it. I was listening to it when the CNN broke it, and I saw it, and I was like, what in the heck? And all I'm thinking is like, damn. Ever since the one in Parkland, Florida, I have that destroyed me. The way that boy carelessly murdered those people, and it's just like, I can't. It doesn't shock me anymore.
Well, they posted a picture. Apparently, while a lot of people said that
Look at
he
him.
shouldn't have had any kind of weapons or anything, apparently the mama posted him with the gun and saying "proud mama," and
Well, I mean, he's a hunt. He got his first deer apparently when he was 13. That might be the picture of that. That looks like a rifle that I wouldn't want to shoot a deer with because it looked like it would shred it to pieces. But it is what it is. Like these Americans are proud of their guns. They're proud of this, but what they need to be paying attention to is not how good your son can shoot a deer, but where their head is at mentally,
Yeah.
how they're paying attention to these guns, what's their fascination, stuff like that is scary.
And I'm gonna say something that might be a little bit controversial,
Oh,
but
not
I
you.
personally think that, especially in some of these situations, they really need to start like in the school systems. I know teachers have a lot to do, and I'm not talking about the teachers, but anytime I believe there's any kind of sense of someone that is possibly going to either self harm or harm others, they need to see about some kind of psychological evaluation and let that get done to be able to see what exactly is wrong. And I think a lot of people, parents in particular, are too prideful and are completely in denial about some of their kids having these issues going on, and because they feel like they maybe failed as a parent or something like that. But you're not a failure. Basically, baby, listen, when you show up because your child done killed everybody, that's when you should probably be like, I might be a failure at this point. But prior to that, long as they're not doing anything like that, long as you're getting them the necessary treatment, support, or whatever, then definitely don't consider yourself a failure because you're doing everything you can to protect your child.
No, 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 no. See, you right. People would have to be, but see, that's the thing. You couldn't do that privately. You couldn't be like, could you please check my son and see this?
Well, I'm saying
You
like
know, you
they,
can't you
but
can't do that.
but
Like,
like they test kids for the reading level, they test
yep.
people for their math level.
Hmm.
I'm saying sometimes the kids need to be tested for their behavior level and for like to check and see if they got any kind of mental issues or developmental delays or anything like that, because that could be the significant part that they get the treatment, so therefore they're not causing these problems in the future for everybody else in their family
You know what?
along with
That's
themselves.
ideally that sounds good, but you're gonna miss too many on this and then misdiagnose this on the others. Like it's not there's no way you know to keep it in check. There's no
But
way.
there has to be a better
And then
way.
there's no money. There, like, where the money gonna come from for
But
that?
I'm saying like there has to be some kind of way that this doesn't happen and keep happening, especially when most of the people are typically stated to have some kind of, have been bullied or have some kind of mental, illness and stuff like that.
Well, the thing is, if you if you do that, you can't. Mm.
Well, let me just
And
read some of
nothing.
these. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
If you do that and nothing happens, okay. So you say you diagnose a kid and then nothing happens, you open yourself up for lawsuit, or you
What do
do
you mean nothing happens?
what they don't do nothing. You say, oh,
No,
your
no, no,
kid
no.
got.
I'm saying like I'm saying in I'm my point is, and that's why I said it may be controversial, because I'm saying that like all kids, not just like, oh, Susie being sleeping in class or doing Bob in class, we gonna do
That's
Susie.
what I'm
I'm saying,
saying.
but I'm saying I think it should be more like I don't, somebody need to create a test like they do for the state test, and it needs to probably include some psychological stuff as well to figure out if somebody got some developmental delays or got some mental illnesses potentially that's popping up that's going. And I see a lot of people are commenting saying that they believe they disagree with me, which is perfectly fine, and they actually believe that the lockdown would have been helpful because, again, I said I didn't think it would be. Um, Someone said that, yeah, both of them said the lockdown would have been helpful and that the lockdown would have been beneficial to kind of contain
If they
everyone.
knew the thing about it is the lockdown would have been beneficial if they knew who they were looking for. They went after the wrong person because I heard the girl who was sitting beside, I heard the student that was sitting beside the boy in class, Colt, say her friend went to the bathroom too. And his name is something similar. She didn't say what it was.
Mm.
So they had him all stuck outside the class, talking about grabbing his bag, looking through his bag and stuff, while Colt just standing out here wandering the hallways because something that he did. Like, I mean, he's new there. And
Yeah.
for the fact that they know that he walking around the hallway on, the hall pass is crazy.
Well, like they said, the mama called to, to try to, stop it because he basically, gave her like a warning. But apparently, someone else had said that this was going to be one of, I think, one of five or one of six school shootings for the day or something like that.
Mm.
So they had
They didn't put no stock in it.
so they had been receiving a couple different warnings about something potentially happening. Um, but like I said, if you grab the wrong person, you know what can be done at that at that point, because there's a lot of people that got similar. The person apparently had similar names, and there's a lot of people that I'm assuming, like I won't say, obviously I won't say their names, but there was two classmates of mine that the first five letters of their name was the same. Wait, first six first six letters, and they had the same last name.
Holy crap.
So yeah, so that could have been easily, again, I'm not gonna say their name, all right, but that could have been easily, done. So
okay, so they got the wrong person. They hemmed up. The only thing that saved this, and I mean, and I do consider this it's a tragedy, but it could have been a lot worse. Let's say that. I ain't gonna say it's a minor tragedy because people lost their lives, but it could have been a lot worse. These teachers had something on their ID what they press, and it's made, I think, and I'm saying this right, if I'm not, then somebody else gonna get credit. Synergics or something like that made these IDs where they press it 4 times and it tells them there's something maybe going on, but if they press that bitch 8 times, it's in the law. And they got there within 2 minutes of that going on, and I mean, it's some of the law that's there at the school. Like this boy was taken down by a SRO officer, and I remember when they first introduced that program worldwide. I was still in high school, and they brought an officer. Now he was kind of fit, but I don't think he was worth it. If you know what I'm saying, like if this had happened at my high school, I don't think he would have been the one that have been on top of it. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was years and years, and let's just say one more years ago. So the SRO program really helped out and saved a bigger tragedy. And the good thing about this is that this boy is still alive. I think the reason why we don't have an understanding of why this happens is because most oftentimes they die.
Yeah, because some of them want to, some of them like that's their goal.
And then you have the ones like the
suicide by cops,
that or
self-inflicted themselves.
The one in the movie theater who just batshit crazy. He just really can't.
But he's alive.
Yeah.
Okay. He's alive.
He can't. I mean, whatever he says probably ain't worth it. Nothing. Even though I think he got sense, he's just playing crazy. Because now I'm tell you something. You can say what you want about me, but I've watched all these documentaries about these ones. The one in Orlando, the Pulse Club, all these mass shootings, all this stuff. Like I said, the one that stuck me was Parkland, Florida, and Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. The boy, man, he was it's just awful. And then they had the kid on there. Let's see what happened. The Sandy Hook kids were involved. Some of the Sandy Hook kids were involved in another school shooting in high school.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because it was something on CNN, but this is crazy. And then that was just like they said on the CNN that it's been almost 100 mass shootings. It sounded like they said school shootings this year.
That's probably right. They average out, I think in 20, maybe it was 2019, one of those years. I can't remember. Of course they had the lockdown in 2020, but one of those years they was mentioning that recent years that it was averaging out about one per day, and one per day was like 365 days, not like one per school day. It
Mm.
was like, so yeah, it's a lot. Like apparently have just even the other day, someone shot someone in the I think bathroom at the school. So,
What the?
but I think it was a targeted thing. I don't think it was like
I
a
ain't
mass thing,
hear
but it was
that.
still a shooting.
Yeah, that's. I mean, this is crazy. These kids, like, we had to worry about folks meeting up in the bathroom on between classes to fight. We had to worry about running into classrooms and flipping up tables for folks shooting. Like that wasn't even a thing. Like I think a boy brought a gun to school when I was in high school, and then they just sent him home and suspended him, didn't even expel him.
Yeah, apparently a Maryland high school, a kid was fatally shot in the bathroom. That's what I'm saying. Like these things happening, it, like the minor ones when, and I hate because of someone lost their life to say a minor one, but I
Mm,
mean like it wasn't like a mass thing. It was someone that was basically, I think in this particular situation was targeted
mm.
in the
Man,
bathroom, and that's what happened. But that, like I said, that happened like a couple of days ago, and that was done by a 16-year-old. Shot and killed him in the bathroom. Killed him or her. I'm not really sure which one it was,
but then
but
the man on the interstate trying to kill people, he ain't killed nobody yet, but he's still on the run. He said his goal was to intended to kill a lot of people, and he
so,
ain't killed nobody yet, so he's still just getting started.
think about it. Like I think because of the fact that, and it's a lot of schools that probably have a lot going on that don't get discussed because of the demographic that it is.
You think so? You
Yes.
think they would hold out on school because the
Yes.
reason why I agree
There
with you
has
on
been.
that is because there is no way that I've heard about over 100 something mass shootings this year or close to 100.
No, a lot of these things are going to be reported. It was a particular situation, allegedly, because I don't know all the details. And I think it was actually here in the very wealthy neighborhood. Um, but it was basically a rumor that someone either bought a gun to school or something, but they kept it under wraps. And that happens because if you have control over a
Hmm.
lot of the things that that the information will how the information gets out, then you can kind of control it. But a lot of it is the parents have spoken out because they either weren't properly notified like they believe they should have, or
Right?
yeah, so that's how things are getting out. But yes, I can totally believe that it's been 100 this year.
Dang, I know I ain't heard about them all then.
No,
That's just crazy. But the key, yeah.
because like I said, it could just be something also as similar as, so I don't know if it's necessarily like mass shootings or just even including targeted shootings. Like I said, that in the situation that happened in Maryland. So, any other thoughts about
Hmm.
that?
Keep my, Pay attention to your kids, man. If they're really getting bullied like that, buy them better clothes or do whatever
No,
they
like I
getting.
think bullying is a two-way street. You
Whatever
gotta you gotta talk to you
you.
have to talk to the parents that are of the kids that are also bullying.
What I'm saying is stuff like that matters more now than it did when we was kids. Like you cannot compare it to when we were kids. Like it's different. Like if you
But you
say
just said that they need to soften up.
they
I mean, need to
they
toughen up.
they do, but what I'm saying is they can't be tough and soft and looking like they're gonna get bullied. You have to make the choice. If as a parent, the kid can't. The kid gonna be like, why the hell I'm getting beat up every
But what
day?
I'm saying is that, like, but why are you? I'm just saying this. Obviously, not a parent. But what I'm saying is that why are you not teaching your kids? Why is it just being put on? It's everybody's responsibility
Were
because
you
we're all going to be
were
affected.
you raised to be a mean ass?
No,
Okay,
but I
most kids
sometimes I
aren't.
probably was
Yeah,
to people.
exactly.
But
So,
what I'm trying to
wait a
say,
minute. Wait a
but
minute.
no, but
No,
what
no,
I'm
no.
trying to
You
say is that what I'm trying to say is that everybody is responsible and accountable. Unless you have no kids, no parents, no friends, no anything, you are going to know someone that either is in the school system teaching faculty, staff, or whatever. You're going to know someone that is in the school system as a student. So you're all, and plus we pay taxes. So you're going to be affected by school shootings. What I'm saying is that yes, you should take proper precaution to, if your child has speech issues or something like that, yes, get them speech therapy. Yes, do everything you possibly can to help your child. But what I'm also saying is just because you wear something that or smell or do something, me as an adult should be telling my child everybody has a different situation and you should not be laughing at this person or making fun of these people because that is detrimental to their mental state as well. Listen, one thing about me and two things for sure. In the event, let me not come to it. And I always say this, I am friends with the people that I think are crazy or maybe a little bit, have some mental issues going on because let me tell you, you need to tell me not to come to work or go somewhere. You need to tell me because I don't play around like that. I'm not going to be a bully to the people that I already know that have mental issues or have some kind of disturbance or something going on. I'm not going to make fun of you if you smell. I'm not going to make fun of you like if you say things wrong. I'm not going to make fun of you. What I will do is try my best to try to help you so these things won't occur because again, if you go off, I'm in the line of fire too. And I don't want to be in the line of fire.
That ain't got nothing to do.
Yes, it does.
Let me tell you something. That ain't got nothing to do with you, how they feel about them. If somebody is
But
doing
I'm
something
just
to
saying,
them,
so you don't think that the parents of kids that bully people should not say anything to their kids to teach
what I'm
them to not
saying
bully?
is it's not their fault that their kids are little assholes all the time. Because I was raised very well. And I did shit to people as a this girl told me that I used to make her get up out of the seat on the bus every day. I don't remember that, but she said I did. And she was scared of me and she would get out the bus and run to her house. And I was like, girl, bye. If you was sitting in my seat, you was sitting in my seat. But my mom ain't raised me that way.
I was bullied as a kid
I was I was too at
by only
times.
one
I was a
person.
fat kid.
By only one person.
I had a bully,
And after that, that didn't happen anymore.
and I'm gonna tell you, he might be doing that right now, but he lived a very rough life, and I'll associate all of that with the fact that he used to bully me. But I didn't let that boy, destroy my life. I ain't trying to hurt him. He even took my best friend, like my
The
best.
girl that you,
No, no,
the
no,
fourth grader.
no. This is
Oh,
before I even knew her,
no.
and so yeah, he took my best friend, and so that's how come I had an opening.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But yeah, and I was just like, this dude is really crazy. And through my whole through fourth, fifth grade, because by the time we got to sixth grade, they realized he was a troublemaker. He was in juvenile somewhere, alternative school. But anyway, he had a very rough life. I don't know what he had going on at home. I really don't give a damn, you know. But as far as it goes, I'm okay that he went through all that because the way he used to treat me. But I wouldn't talk bad about him. But I'm okay that he went through what he went through. You know what I'm saying? But that's what happens. You gotta realize that people that fuck with you, they either got a reason for it.
And a lot of times bullies are basically bullied at home and that's the only control that they have or
Yeah.
feel that they have.
Or they ain't had a hot meal that day and you did. You know what I'm saying? It could be something like that. Like it's not always something within yourself that people bully you for. So don't ever think that. And just ask her, what's your problem? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Now, I will say it's very helpful to learn how to fight because when you start questioning bullies, then that's when they get aggressive. And then, like my first two times at the playground on in the Project Swing, I got dusted up, but that was twice. That third time, yeah, it was a different story. But yeah, you got to learn how to fight. Kids, I'm sorry, but while y'all are children, now when they get to be middle school and teenagers, you got to watch out because they're gonna start getting guns. These kids are crazy,
Mhm.
and leave them alone. But yeah, this little boy finna go to jail for the rest of his life.
And his dad probably going to for the
His
rest of
father
his.
gonna get 25 with L. He might get a possibility of parole for him because he, even though he
Well, I
enabled
think
him.
right now they're both being held without bond, so
Oh yeah, they ain't gonna get out. They don't get
yeah,
out on a bond because they're gonna flee.
or without bail. I guess I should say bail.
Same
Any other
thing.
thoughts about that?
No, he's cheating crazy.
Okay. The last topic before she tells us about her movie or television is, of course, the Super Bowl has been announced that the halftime show for the Super Bowl that is occurring in 2025 will be done by Kendrick Lamar in New Orleans. And everybody, a lot of people are in an uproar because people feel like it should be Lil Wayne. Personally, for me, I don't care nothing about Lil Wayne. Just gonna be honest. Now, could he be a part of it or whatever? I don't know. I don't care. But let me tell you who needs to show up. And if this person does not show up, there's going to be problems in my eyes because I'm probably not going to even watch the halftime show unless someone tells me that this person is showing up. If Juvenile does not show up and performs, back that thing up, then it's going to be a loss. I'm sorry.
Why would he
That's the
perform
only
that
thing
with
that
Kendrick
that's the
Lamar?
only thing that I care about. I don't care about whether or not it's Lil Wayne. People are like, it's because Jay Z doesn't like Drake or Dub. I don't care. I don't care. Juvenile is new or in happening in New Orleans. Juvenile needs to make an appearance. A lot of people feel like it should have went like Birdman has spoken about it. Master P, um, Nikki. A lot of these people are saying that it should have been Lil Wayne. Again, do not care.
I don't think these people understand.
Should be Juvenile.
Like the other people that you named,
Juvenile.
first off, Juvenile is not a mainstream enough for the Super Bowl.
No, I'm saying like I'm saying Kendrick, since we obviously know that Kendrick is performing, I'm saying Kendrick needs to bring out if he wants if the Super Bowl people, Jay-Z, whoever is sponsoring wants me to watch the halftime show, I need to know that Juvenile will be out there and I need to know
You gonna watch it?
don't. If I don't hear that,
You gonna watch it?
no, I probably won't.
There you go.
I don't
But
like Usher. I watch Usher performance
yeah,
because it's Usher. But like other people, no, I will not watch it. It will come on. The only way I will see
you will
it,
watch Taylor Swift perform over Kendrick Lamar.
I definitely will. I'm not watching Kendrick Lamar. What I don't know his song, but not like us. That's
That's
it.
pitiful.
But I like
That
Taylor
you
Swift songs.
right? That's
But I like Taylor
that's
Swift songs.
that's the pitiful part.
No, it's not.
Very,
She's my
very
birthday
pitiful.
twin.
That okay.
Birthday twin.
That don't mean
Nene
nothing.
Leakes, Jamie Foxx, Red. Birthday twins. Red from Bad Girls Club.
I don't know who that is. I don't watch garbage. Anyway,
Bad Girls Club don't even come on anymore.
it's garbage.
Not
But
the one from
anyway,
Austin.
so I don't like I said. Well, I started to say before Kim went off about Juvenile for whatever reason. Um, j- why would the Super Bowl people care about Lil Wayne being from New Orleans?
Because I think a lot of people have the association that if a Super Bowl happens in a city that
Hmm.
an artist is from, that 9 times out of 10, that artist will be like involved in it. With Usher, because he did the residency, he was
Hmm.
doing the residency in Vegas, so it obviously natural progression for it to be him while it was in Vegas.
That's not where he's from, though.
I know that's not where he's from, but like I said, he had a residency there. I don't think there's any kind of connection with Kendrick to New Orleans. So I think that's where the
because
issue and beef is at.
that's not what the Super Bowl committee was looking for. Is to represent New Orleans. They're looking for entertainment for the event that they're having.
I know, but you also keep in mind, let me just ask you this question. Do you think that had he not had the beef with Drake, that Kendrick Lamar would have been on anybody list to play at the Super Bowl to do a halftime show by his, like, to headline it? Because obviously he was involved in
I
the
mean, you
Los
do
Angeles
know
one.
that he had Grammy winning. He's
No,
winning
no,
Grammy
no. I'm
before
saying
he
no.
before Not Like Us.
I'm saying no. I'm not. I am not disputing whether or not he's popular to people. What I'm saying is that I don't think his popularity, for me personally, the only song I know that he performs is Not Like Us. I'm just gonna be honest.
Right.
That's the only song that I know. I know he has other songs. I'm not discounting that. But what I'm saying is that I don't believe that I agree with the people that don't believe that he would have ever been asked to perform as the main headliner had he not had the beef with Kendrick and had the song Not Like Us. Because everybody named Mama, it doesn't matter what demographic, what all demographics are listening to Not Like Us. They are playing that, they have played that everywhere. Like it doesn't matter what event it was, they are playing, they have played that
But what
everywhere.
does that matter?
Because it means that it increases popularity.
No, what does it matter that why he was chosen? I don't think he would have been out of contention for it. He wouldn't have been no less of a performing possibility than anybody else.
I don't, because keep in mind, he just was as a special guest a couple years ago with Dre.
Okay.
You remember?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
Dre. Yeah,
He was.
yeah, he was there. So that's what I'm saying. No, I don't think no one is. No one was expecting that. I could actually literally see, and it would make more sense if there was like a, like similar to the. Well, obviously there's a connection with Dre with all those people that performed that year with him. Not discounting that. But what I'm saying, what I'm thinking is that, again, I'm not a Lil Wayne fan. I'm not saying that it should be Lil Wayne. I'm not saying that Juvenile should be headlining the whole thing either. What I'm thinking is that it should have been like maybe some kind of collaboration with several New Orleans acts.
I just don't think
like similar to the field. Like it could have been like, what's the one that they keep on? Oh my goodness, Manny Fresh. That's the person. That's the producer. That's the producer.
So he's more popular than Kendrick Lamar right
No,
now.
I'm saying like for as a New Orleans connection. That's what I mean. Kind of like a Dr. Dre connection. Everybody was connected with Dr. Dre because none of those people had like the Dr. Dre. Nobody. Those were old songs. Like those were classics. That's like those were classic songs and classic performances. So what I'm saying is that there could have been something similar for as New Orleans was concerned. And the only reason why I'm saying Manny Fresh is because Manny Fresh did a lot of work for a lot of people in that whole little genre, in that whole little area. Because I'm trying to find someone that is a producer like that's similar to like obviously Dr. Dre for his like hits and stuff like that. Obviously, if it's like there's no teams obviously in Virginia, but obviously if there was teams in Virginia, I would think that Timberland would be one of the people when him bringing out his people, like, you know, Pharrell bringing out Missy, like I would think it would be something like that. That's the only reason why I'm thinking Manny Fresh, because that's the only person I know that I know he's a producer.
I think the Super Bowl committee had an excellent PR person and for the event crew that is a whole separate production than the Super Bowl, and said that Kendrick is hot right now. It's true. And you can say
that's my point, though. Kendrick is hot like right now only because,
but he wouldn't have been out of contention for any. That's not how they choose. Until recently, that wasn't how they chose the Super Bowl performers. But someone got a wild hair and said, "Yes, Kendrick is hot right now." But like I said, he was just being contention as like maybe Guns N' Roses or whoever anybody else that's ever been a star in music. He wasn't out of contention. and not like us might be because he's hot right now, but that ain't the only like he could have had. It's a lot of people that had viral songs this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now.
No, I'm not saying it, that they haven't, but I'm saying I think Not Like Us has like for me, I have seen so many people in different demographics that have been dancing to that
Right.
and doing that, then because keep in mind, I'm not a Kendrick Lamar fan, and I'm saying this for a purpose. If I'm not a fan, but yet and still I heard it, that therefore made it, and I heard it from other people, that makes it kind of popular. Because obviously, if it's an artist that I listen to, like K Michelle, I'm gonna listen to K Michelle regardless of if anybody else listens to K Michelle. So I already know her work. But if you never heard of an artist, well, I heard of him. But if you never heard of their song before, and then all of a sudden everybody and their mom is performing that song, singing that song, dancing to that song, then it's, especially in the dating age of the internet, like it's completely viral. And I think that that's probably the reason why. But anyway, it goes, Juvenile needs to play
That's not
the
gonna
greatest love song of all time at the Super Bowl. If he doesn't perform the greatest love song of all time based on what he said is the greatest love song of all time, then I feel like that is a problem. So, okay, say this. I don't know if it's any contention. I know they about to they're building the stadium, new stadium, Tennessee Titans.
happen.
So
What?
so, which hopefully should mean that the Super Bowl eventually will come to Tennessee. It will come to Nashville. When you think of Nashville, currently right now, who do you think will be playing at the
Morgan
Super Bowl?
Wallen.
Interesting.
That's the most racist. Who you think? Beyonce?
No, I'm definitely not thinking Beyonce. No, I'm not thinking Beyonce, but I'm just saying, like, what, like, okay, so
He's not even from here.
but he's known for
Country.
this area.
But see, that's what I'm saying. So,
But he lives here now.
he's not from here though.
I know, but he lives here though.
So
he has a connection.
A racist connection. He's a fucking racist. But anyway, it to me, we're gonna disagree on this. It doesn't make any sense that Lil Wayne should have been chosen over Kendrick Lamar for any other reason other than it's in New Orleans, and I don't think that's how the damn Super Bowl committee picks their performers. So
You think committee? I think it's JC. He's the entertainment person, unless
well,
something
whoever
changed.
he's I mean he's not the only person. He could be.
First of all, it should be if the Super Bowl comes to Tennessee, I would love for it to be Taylor. I would love it,
she's not from here.
but she lived here.
Lived. She ain't from here. She ain't Tennessee.
But she has she has this
Oh
area
my
connection.
god, that would be the worst Super Bowl ever.
It will be the coolest.
No.
Or either
Mm.
Chris Stapleton,
Yeah.
or either Jelly Roll,
No.
and hopefully Jelly Roll
He is
brings
on my
out
nerves.
K Michelle, because I like K
They got a
Michelle.
song,
Well, they performed at the last CMAs or CMTs or whatever
Uh-huh.
them things was.
and you watch those awards, but you
No, I don't watch those, but I watched the
but know
performance.
about them.
Yeah, because I watched the performance,
What's the
like on YouTube. Like we're currently on YouTube.
yeah?
Like I may post clips of this episode, so if you watch the clips, also, just saying. Same. But anyway, for episode 73, TK, who are you telling on this week?
I think
I mean, not telling on, but what is your
Look
TV
at her.
show? Oh, TV
Don't even worry
movie
about
or
it. I
book
know what I'm
for
say.
episode 73. You
Lord
want
have mercy. You just botched that all the way up and kept on, just like a
Struggling.
train wreck.
the ops?
This
We did
week,
it earlier.
I'm telling on the book that talk not a book, it's a TV show I've been watching called The Morning Show on Apple TV. I've been watching it because everybody's like it's good. Well, actually, the only reason why I watched it is because the TV at my home, I could only get Apple TV to come up on the TV. So I didn't even realize that I had Apple TV, but my Netflix, I couldn't remember the password, none of the other stuff. It's all on my phone. And so I was casting it to my phone, but then I was like, nah, I don't want to do all that because it's weird when you cast it from your phone. It doesn't have the same functions. So Apple TV sent me a code to my phone and went on there. Watching the morning show, Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon. I love both these young ladies as actresses, not as people. I do not know them personally. And I I recently found out that it was if you haven't seen it, basically it's a show. Jennifer Aniston has been part of a morning show like Good Morning America for 15 years. All right, her co-host is basically her TV husband, and he gets accused of sexual misconduct.
Hmm.
And
I
so,
think it's based off Matt Lauer.
damn, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh,
Well,
my
never
bad.
mind. She
My
done
bad.
told what I was gonna say.
My bad.
But anyway, it was based off of that. Is what I just found out yesterday. Shit. Do you even watch the show? Oh,
I watched it.
oh. Well, it got pretty good to me, but it 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 scares me a little bit about people in the industries like that. Like if that was Matt Lauer, then this is Diane Sawyer, and you know, I would kind of think differently of people like that. Like I
I'm
realize
thinking maybe Katie Couric.
no,
This was Matt Lauer.
no,
They work together.
Diane Sawyer. That's what the other boy said. I don't know, but it
But
could
I'm
be.
saying that's Today Show. Katie Couric was on
Yeah,
on the Today Show with Matt Lauer.
yeah, but he was on something before today.
Oh, I Google. Keep talking.
It was some, but anyway, so it might be Diane Sawyer, it might be the Maggie lady. I don't know, but anyway, um, you don't realize. I don't think people realize like this sexual misconduct stuff is really deeper than I even thought it was. When you're doing things at work that you don't feel are cringe is what the kids are saying now, or creepy, or harassing, you have really got to watch yourselves these days because if somebody is your subordinate, meaning they report to you or you have the ability to get them fired, you really don't need to be sleeping with them.
Well, of
I
course.
mean, I am not one to take away anybody's love. Okay, like love happens. I have never. Well, let me take it. Hold on. I have once. Uh, literally shat where I ate. And it didn't turn out bad for me because it was really situations that I didn't keep around very long anyway. Well, actually, it did. It blew up. Not at work though. But anyway, the idea that you would want to, especially if you're married, okay. The married ones really get me because the people that you're messing with know you're married too. So you need to be cautious anyway because they probably got an ulterior motive for sleeping with you. And then the stuff like what happened in this TV show happens. Like I'm not gonna tell you about because I really would like people to go out and watch it because this is good. And they had, it's got a lot of racial uh content on it as well. Because yeah, it's just an interesting aspect of the show. And I haven't finished it all. I think I'm at the last episode of the second season. It's a whole nother season, but it's a really good show to teach you how to behave because this environment is all of our environments because you have people that go too far at work. You have people that joke around and say wrong things, like the poor little weatherman gonna say something was his spirit animal. Oh Lord, he got canceled for that. They had to fire this man. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't say nothing sideways when you're on that at that level. Like, but the way people treated each other, like if you don't get that, what I'm getting at is that you don't get that from when you watch the show. Like on the View, you watch the View, you can tell these hoes fight. You can tell they be backstage cussing each other out, doing all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at
You
what's
really
that
think
girl?
they're whores?
Yes. When you look at what's the girl name? Hoda and the other one. They don't look like they look like they best friends and hang out.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't anticipate.
Is that Robin and Hoda?
I don't know these women. I really don't. I don't know none of them. Like ever since the original cast of the View went off, morning TV is just ridiculous to me. What was the name? What was the lady? Meredith and Joy and
On
this
the
is,
View?
yeah.
Oh
This
yeah,
is
and
before
Whoopi.
Whoopi. No, Whoopi wasn't on there.
Oh.
Star Jones, and
Oh.
it was the original Barbara.
You sure Whoopi wasn't a part of the original?
Mm-mm. I don't think. Yeah, look that up real quick.
I will.
But now Whoopi ain't. But she didn't. She came later on. And then they had Rosie O'Donnell on there at one point. Boy, ain't she settled down. I heard Rosie O'Donnell and Roseanne are doing something together. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
The original. So Meredith, Star, Debbie Montanopoulos, Joy,
I remember.
Barbara. Yeah, those were the people.
I remember Debbie. She didn't last long. I don't think she had drama like the rest
She
of
was
them.
only one season. Well, 1997, 1999, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah, but I really actually watched that show before. Everything came about nothing. Like you got a whole bunch of shit. You know, Young and Restless is still on, and Bold and Beautiful. Why would they do that? But anyway, the morning show on Apple TV. If you got it, I don't think I didn't know I had it, so I'm gonna have to check my Apple subscriptions and make sure I ain't paying for it. But I'm gonna finish watching this show before I do that because it really doesn't have very much else interesting on Apple TV.
Hmm.
Have you?
Whoopi came on there about 10 years later.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I always thought, but I do remember Star and
Star
Debbie
Star
Montanopoulos.
came out there big
And also
like that,
Elizabeth
and then she.
Hasselbeck was on there.
Yeah.
She was from Survivor. That's the only reason I know her.
Oh, she's a football player's husband. That's the only reason why I
Wife.
know her. I mean, you know what
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. But anyway, did you have any other thoughts
No.
about
I'm
episode
done
73?
with you for the day.
Okay, then.
Done. I ain't got no rhyme.
So, for episode 72, for episode 73 in the book, the sugar and we're the odds, we're telling it all.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, hold on. Time out. How you know his mama?
But anyway, peace out, the ops. We telling it all.
We early today.
Yep. Go watch the debate if you want to watch the
Oh my
debate.
God. Was it on now?
Otherwise,
What time
we'll
did it
see you
come
next
on?
week.
8 or 9?